Good morning and welcome to the 2024 California Summer Convenings, the GED Testing Service portion. I'd like to welcome you today and introduce all of us who will be supporting the summer convenings. My colleague and State Relationship Manager, Lisa Poole Osorio. I am Debbie Fawcett, Senior Director at GED Testing Service. And we have another colleague joining us in California, supporting me and Lisa, and that will be Jonna Forsyth. Today's session is the 20-minute decision. Do we present an update or refresh of the GED test and GED test materials, resources, and tools? Do we take a deep dive into instructional and operational information to guide learners and educators? Another today's session is a 20-minute decision. Another question is, what do we have for you? Well, we have the GED website, www.ged.com, where the depth of information for all things GED is accessible to adult learners and educators. We recently held the annual GED conference in Long Beach, California, where 200 of the 600 attendees were California educators. And you all know that we GED staff are available for any additional information you may seek. Knowing those two things and answering those questions, we decided that today's session will focus on recent innovations and enhancements. We are going to discuss with you and share exciting information about GED and Me, the GED mobile app, Unplugged, the GED podcast, GED test prepped coaching program, Learning Preferences Assessment, and GED Works. We want to remind you that Pearson adopted the Interrobang to emphasize the company's motto of always learning. The Interrobang is a punctuation mark that became popular in the 60s, and now it's kind of waned, but we like it because the combination of a question mark and an exclamation mark makes up the Interrobang, and that Interrobang captures our feeling of excitement, but questioning and looking excitement. We want to find out how we can best serve you and your learners. The first thing we want to share is GED and Me, the official GED mobile app. We launched it in June 26, 2024. It is available in the Apple or the App Store. Coming next, we are working to put it in the Android version, and we are going to develop the Spanish language version. Those are all in progress. We had more than 20,000 downloads in the first 2 weeks. We currently are seeing about 500 downloads a day. We think this is going to be a fabulous support to students. Again, we listen, we learn. Our students wanted something they could use and work with on their phones. We have answered. The GED mobile app guiding principles in our production were it does offer an easy to access resource that can make a difference in the lives of learners. It provides simplicity and it forges relationships because we are building communities via the app with GED mobile app. Our podcast, Education Unplugged, is the official podcast of GED Testing Service. From test takers to change makers, we're sharing the stories of people who have taken a non-traditional path to a better life. Tune in to hear from grads, adult educators, GED Works partners, and more. Listen and subscribe. GED.com/podcast. Again, Education Unplugged is embracing the future of learning, where education meets innovation. It is a podcast for educators and learners. It is hosted by Vicki Green, the President, GED Testing Service, to engage thought leaders, educators, and industry experts in candid conversations, a 360 view of adult education. Interviews take the listener on a journey to uncover the evolving landscape of education and workforce development, and it is occurring twice monthly in our podcast forms. Another thing we have looked at to, again, help that test taker and help you prepare them as their educator is the GED Test Prepped Coaching Program. This is a test mastery mindset. GED Test Prepped Coaching Program was done in collaboration with Fifth Theory Education. Why GED and Test Prepped Coaching? To gain new tools to help your students on their GED journeys. We understand that you and we are working together with the materials and resources for the content of the test, but we also realize, as do you, that there are many things that happen to students that affect their mindset and their preparation to step into the testing room. GED and the Test Prepped Coaching Program attacks some of those intangibles that affect a student when they step into the room to take the test. We understand that many students language at 140 to 145. This program serves as a tool for educators to help students go beyond academic preparation. It gives the educator insight and actionable points to coach students. And it is an alternative to repeatedly taking practice tests where students may languish near the passing mark, and it seems that they are also understanding the content. This is going to help you with those intangibles to prepare them. The Test Prep Coaching Program, educator becomes the coach certified and earns a badge. The educator will participate in 6 learning modules that take a total of 45 minutes. Student takes the assessment. The student receives a report. In that report, we will define 4 basic dimensions of their personality: their level of motivation, of confidence, of responsibility, and resilience. Within those 4 dimensions, we can capture a total of 16 competencies to further define the dimensions. The coach will work with the coach's guide to counsel the student. The outcome of an improved student test mastery and awareness is what we are seeing with numbers of students and teachers who participated in our pilot for this program. It is a free program that you may, with access from GED Manager. When we are talking about unlocking potential with learning preferences, this is also another one of those intangibles that will support you in helping your students be as prepared both academically and emotionally for the test. How understanding learning styles can improve student productivity, engagement, and knowledge retention. That's why we are working with a learning preferences profile. GED Testing Service partners with the program, with you, with me, to help learners reach their goals. And that is the program that provided the learning assessment that we have now made accessible on our website. The Learning Preference Assessment does a number of things. The learners and the teachers who piloted the Learning Preference Assessment indicated a positive influence on studying and likelihood to improve outcomes. The GED.com study page for students now includes a link to the Learning Preference Assessment. There are 7 learning preferences displayed in GED.com. They are visual preferences. The other preferences are kinesthetic, auditory, interpersonal, intrapersonal, verbal, and logical. Taking the learning preference assessment is easy. Launching in a student's GED.com account. Again, as I said, we've made it very easy for the student to take the assessment because we have a link to it set up in their GED.com account. GED Manager users can see a student's learning profile in the student details. So not only does the student have an easy way to access it, you as the educator, if you have access to GED Manager, can see that student's learning style details. The last and not least of which we want to share with you is our GED Works program. We're going to tell you much more about this program later in the day, but we want you to understand we think this is a valuable program that all educators should be aware of for reasons that we're going to share with you later in our day and in our conversations with you. A simple note and the reason why. In the time we have had this National Employer Program, partnership between GED Testing Service and different employers throughout the country, we have graduated over 7,000 students. And there is an opportunity, even though it is an employer program, we're going to share more information with you about how it can help you and the students in your classroom. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the information we'd like to share for you this morning in the convening. We thank you. We want to stay connected to you. The easiest way you can communicate with GED Testing Service is to email us at help@ged.com. You can also email me, Lisa, and Jonna directly. But if you can't remember our emails, even though we will show them to you many times and they will be in the note-taking guide, we want you to remember a simple email, help@ged.com. When our team sees that it's a question or a comment coming in from California, it will automatically come to us. We hope to see those emails. We hope to get those direct emails because our job is to support you and answer your questions, all in the interest of our GED adult learners. Thank you very much.